I'm saying? Can't be a fool for them.
Jay Cameron.
What's up, my people?
What's up, bro?
We back. How y'all doing?
Yes.
Hey,
Hey.
Dominique.
Hey.
Hey. Okay.
This is interesting. How y'all week been? You know what I'm saying?
Good.
We live.
I know.
And people need to hear this tonight.
Yeah.
It's always good. I think a lot going on right now. And we all got to come together like we come together every week and to give insight, give knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So we want to continue to be a blessing to others. So what you got to say to the people, Vash?
We're not here for everybody, but we're definitely here for somebody.
That's his line.
Nah, you put me on the spot. I had to do it.
Yeah.
Tommy, tell the people who you are. You know what I'm saying? Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
That's it?
That's it, D?
That's all I got right
That's
now.
all you got right now?
That's all I got right
Tell
now.
her, okay.
Okay.
She's shy right now. Yeah, she.
That's all right. We're going to warm her up.
Yeah.
Okay, who is that? Okay, that is here. Okay.
Oh, right. How you doing? Hey, shout out to Netta.
That's somebody you know?
Huh?
Somebody you know?
Yeah, Indianapolis. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She was the first one.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Hey, full disclosure. I had a phone call for Bio Specialty Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Okay, for my medication. And that's who I talked to today. And I told her like to subscribe to the show, and she was the first one to make a comment today.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss
Yeah.
Netta.
Yeah, she get props.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can become our number one caller. We got one, but you got to override that one.
Yeah.
So,
Good work.
yeah. That's wild.
Wow. So let me get this out the way.
Hold on. You
Okay.
asked them what they had for the week. You asked her what she had going on for the week. Ask me what was going on my week.
You was already talking. Yeah. Give us a story, Ken.
Hey, this week I had, it's not really the epiphany. I came to a conclusion that I want more out of life. So if I want more out of life, I'm going to put more into life. And I suggest you do the same thing. Because if you hated me up to this point, you ain't going to like me after today. I'm telling you, because I'm about to go get it. Let's go.
That's if they ain't on that block list.
You know, you got to have witnesses.
That's true. Oh, so you're right. I block them from my phone, but never social media. Like, I want everybody to know.
You got to have witnesses to the success.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, all my enemies, God keep them close. Because he can see what he's doing for me. You see what I'm saying? Maybe he can convert a couple of them. You see? Because they're like, we can't stand him, but he stay blessed. You know, what's going on with him? You know, somebody told me one time, I walked into the job, dispatcher, she was on a call, she's on the headset, and I came in, she got off a call, and she slammed the headset down. There's no damn way you can be that damn happy all the damn time. I was like, if you knew who I knew, you could. Like, it pissed her off that I was just me. You know what I'm saying? And I hadn't even been through that yet.
So I have a question.
Run it.
Okay. That happened. Do you feel like you're happier because you forgive me for maybe putting you on blast, but you are a cancer survivor, correct?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you appreciate life a little differently?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people.
So there is a way you that damn happy all the time. Okay, you
but
still here.
Reason.
Yeah, but it was bad. Ooh.
Reason for the season.
God wasn't done with you yet.
I got too many stories. I got stories I should have been gone for just simple stuff.
God wasn't done with you yet.
Yeah. And I ain't done. I got some things to do. And I ain't talking about people.
Maybe you gonna reel us back in. We gonna keep going.
Hey, he needed his story time.
Yeah.
Like always, like, subscribe, follow. Singleton Brown live on all platforms. Also on Roku TV. Download the app Gift TV. We on there too.
What?
Check us out. We're not here for everybody. We're here for somebody, like Bash said. But make sure you live life to the fullest. Let me tell you a secret. Y'all come in for a second. Come in. You're not going to get out of this life alive.
What the hell was that?
I had to bring them in. I had to bring my people in. I'm talking to the people, man. I ain't talking to you.
There was no zooming.
I'm talking to the people, man.
All right.
Somebody got closer today.
They got close.
Somebody got closer
Hey,
today.
man, people like, I'm good. My people, just remember that.
Everybody ain't that high, bro.
Make sure you live it to the fullest. Make sure you love on somebody. Make sure you make that phone call to that person that God told you to call. Stop putting off things for tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. It's always today.
Call.
Forgive. Treat people how you want to be treated. Okay, let's get started. So we're just going to go straight into the topic tonight.
We have them call in.
Yeah. Call us, leave a comment, let us know where you're from, check in, say whatever you want to say in the chat. Just know we do check the chat. Just be respectful. But we do have my boy, he don't mind getting disrespectful back with you. But we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to be respectful at all times. But yeah, leave a comment, concern. We here for you. We answer questions. We got some very intelligent people on our panel. A lot of experience. Over 100-something years of experience sitting over here. So I think we can help somebody. So how we going to do this? You want to go straight into it, brother?
Let's get straight into it. Let's bring on.
You tell us the topic, man. It's your topic. Let's go.
I don't know what the topic is.
I got you. What? I got you.
You the narrator, man. You the moderator. Do your job.
Go ahead, Bash. You want to get a little bit of it?
I mean, today's topic, we are discussing cancer survivors, the journeys that you guys went through, the survival stories, and even some stories of loss. We're here for you guys. So if anybody wants to dive into it.
Yeah, man. So we got two young people on our panel, and we want to start with them, Ken and Dominique. We got a lot of questions for you all because my mama had cancer and she didn't do too good with it, and she was diagnosed in May. She died in December. That's how quick it took her out of here. And I think it was more so of it was too late in the game. For one, it was straight stage 4, and then I think her mindset, she was ready to go. She got tired of fighting, So why don't you speak on, what's the mindset you have when you find out, when somebody call you, or when you got to go to the doctor, and then they start talking to you about these things that you might have went to the doctor for one thing, they telling you something else. Like,
yeah, the initial diagnosis.
Like you go to, like you got a car, you go in there for some tires, they telling you about you need an alter and a starter.
That's damn sure how it happened.
Okay.
I went in, and I had a hernia about 30 years ago, right? So then about 3 years ago, on the opposite side, I had a lump. I said, okay, I got another hernia, right? Schedule me an appointment. I go in, get an exam, and doctor, yeah, you got a hernia. I said, let's schedule surgery, right? Because I had a wedding coming up.
Yeah.
We were in August. It was in November. I said, let me get this out of the way now, right? So I go in there. We schedule surgery, right? I go in there like the 3rd of August. And the surgery was scheduled for like the 12th, right? And I go into surgery. Everything's normal. They give you the juice. You go to sleep. I wake up. I seen the doc. I said, we good? He went, no. What you mean?
That's scary.
Well, yeah, no.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. It was one of them laparoscopic surgery where they do like the 4 holes in the robot. And he goes, no. I go, I say, okay. He said, I found fluid in a mass. What? And at the time, I'm not even thinking cancer.
It's not registering, yeah. Fluid in a mass.
Fluid in a mass. Like, oh, something else I got to do, And they scheduled all those appointments, man. And oof. I went for one thing and came back with something else. Nah, I'll go deeper, but we're going to.
Yeah, we'll let Diamond tell her part. We'll keep going. Diamond, what was your experience?
So I originally have an underlying condition. I have Crohn's disease.
Okay.
So I go in every year to have a scope. They had a tumor there, but they didn't think it was a tumor. And so I went to my doctor's office 2 weeks prior, and I told him it was cancer. He told me, no, we can't think like that. That's not what it is. So we went in, we had a biopsy. He had took 4 samples, and then from my understanding from him, before the pathology posted the results, they called him. He was in surgery at the time, and they told him it's cancer. He was doing surgery on another person. He told them, "No, it's not. I need you to test the other samples that we took from the biopsy." The pathologist said, yeah, I did that. I tested 4 times. It's cancer." So he told the pathologist not to post the results on my chart. Because I'm nosy and I go in there.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm my chart. Of course. Yes.
He went ahead and posted it. I went on there and read. His office called me. He said, I need you to come into my office. I'm like, oh, okay. He was like, well, can you come in today? I'm like, no, I'm working. He said, okay, can you come in Wednesday? I said, yeah. This nurse said, and bring your mom. I said, goodness. Okay. We got in there. He was running late. I did go off of him. I always go on my doctors.
Leos.
Man.
He said, what do you know? Because I know you read your records. Because I know he posted it after I told him not to post it. I told him I read that it was a tumor. I read how big it was. And so I'm just waiting on here what you have to say. He said, it's cancer, but he named it something else. It's like this long name. I can't pronounce it. But it was rectal.
But in short.
It was rectal cancer. He said, so the next step is we're going to go and we're going to have some x-rays because we need to know what stage it is. At the time, we didn't know what stage. We went. I had the test done. He called me on the phone. He said it was stage 3. Stage 3 rectal cancer.
So your initial, forgive me if anybody else had a question.
Sure.
I was so wrapped up in your story.
Stage 3.
Your initial reaction, because you're going through the motions trying to find out and figure out like what is actually wrong with you, and he gave you a final answer. So that final answer, like, what was your next? What happens next?
So my initial reaction was I was looking at the clock. It was 3:30 when he said it, and all I could do was stare at the clock because I was like, I wasn't expecting me to be right.
Correct.
So a little shocked, a little dazed. It didn't really hit me until a couple days after. But then it still didn't hit me because I was like, okay, we got this. And then I had my mom sitting there talking about you gonna fight whether you want to or you don't.
Oh yeah, that mom
and
support system for sure.
That's actually how I looked at it. And then his office called, you gotta go in, you gotta have a port put in. Oh, okay. Didn't think anything of it until as it got closer. And then he was like, oh, well, you're gonna have a port put in your chest. No, I'm not, sir. That's not where it's going.
So they were gonna. So that looks like opening up your chest and putting something in and closing it back up.
No, it's under the foreskin. It's under the
okay,
skin.
okay.
I said, no, sir, it won't. Every time a nurse came in, it's like, okay, are you ready to go in? I said, where's the surgeon? Cause like we're not doing that. It's not going into my chest. We can put it in my arm, but we're not.
Well, if I was a doctor, I would not come to work that day.
God, dog.
He had an emergency surgery that day, and that was by the good blessing of God. And he was taking his time in the surgery, and the anesthesiologist doctor came in and said, "Are you ready to go in? Have you seen the surgeon?" I said, "No, because we have so much to talk about. Because I'm not getting that put in my chest."
Even though it was recommended.
Oh, I don't care what it's recommended.
Yes, ma'am.
It's my body.
Okay.
I got one.
Yeah.
Different strokes, different folks.
So he was still running late, and so I told them I was ready to go. I said, and this was like in December, I got diagnosed November 24th of 2021, it was aggressive, they wanted to go ahead and start treatment. And so we didn't do the port that day because he wound up being in surgery for a long time. I walked into my oncologist's office. He said, I heard that there was some drama at the hospital. I said, with my drama. It was his drama because he was the one in surgery. He didn't want to come meet with me. I advised him that I wanted the port, my oncologist, that I wanted the port in my arm, which I still have.
Okay.
I wanted the port in my arm, and then we can start treatment. He said I needed to find a doctor for me. He said, do you still want your surgeon because he will be your surgeon who will remove this? I said, yeah, we can still keep him. We just not doing the port in my chest.
Yeah. Tell they need to understand what the purpose of the port is.
The port is for your cancer treatment. You can either some patients do the treatment where they get poked all the time. Some doctors prefer you to have the port because it's easy access for you to have the chemo go in.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Well, we're gonna have somebody.
Yeah, we're gonna have a nurse come in.
She ready
I've
now.
seen her.
I got so many more questions.
Yeah. So now look, it's like y'all, it's like y'all in the emergency room, and then the nurse come on scene. That's perfect. The nurse that showed up to come to treat you all and answer some questions for us all. Hey, how you doing, ma'am?
Hey, how y'all doing?
How you doing, Miss Sherelle?
Miss Sherelle, nice to have you.
Good.
So since the nurse that showed up for these two Leo patients,
Why you gotta do that?
both of them Leos.
Wait. Watch
Oh.
this. We both Leo. Both of y'all from Louisiana.
Louisiana? Oh, that's my homegirl. What's up, homegirl? So yeah, you dealing with these two Leos, and you the nurse, and I guess you want to get all the information to help them, right?
Correct. So, hi everybody. I'm Sherelle. I've been a nurse for 7 years. I'm currently at Grady Hospital, and I worked at Piedmont Health Care Cancer Center. Right.
Yeah.
My duty as the nurse in oncology is to educate. So I heard you say, Diamond, that you did not want that port in your chest, by your heart. Totally get it, right? It's our job as the nurse to make you feel safe, to see you as that person. Because, right, you never thought that this was going to come for you. You just thinking, and it came to life. And for you, Kenneth, I applaud you for going to the doctor because no man goes to the doctor to get a checkup to even know what's going on with their body. So I really, really commend you for that because that rarely takes place, especially in the black community. So kudos to you. I do want to ask you all what questions in the initial process that you had about your cancer, the process, the treatment that left you just clueless and wondering, if you had any.
A question that I had was really the question that I had. I didn't even ask. It was like, okay, after all the treatment and everything, what was my life expectancy after that? And I purposely did not ask that question because I was like, that power was not going to be in the hands of whatever he said. So,
You don't want that answer. You don't really want that answer.
Why not?
I mean, I don't know. Personally, I would have been you. I would have thought it, but I wouldn't ask.
Yeah, I didn't want to know. I just want to just keep outliving whatever they thought it may be, for the kids, for the grandkids, and I got too much to do. So yeah, that's the only question. Like, what was my perspective life longevity after treatment? That's what it was. But I didn't ask the question. So
Okay.
I didn't actually have any questions. I stayed on the internet. My doctor had to tell me to stay off the internet.
Dummy, you are hilarious.
I'm gonna find out this myself.
But no, you know what? When I went to my doctor for the initial consult, and I did so much research on the internet before I got to him. When I got to him, he confirmed everything that I already researched, right? So when he got done, he told me everything, and I said, okay, let's schedule a surgery. He said, don't you want to get a second opinion? I go, you are the second opinion. Like,
You got the
If
first
you
one.
see it, then you see
Yeah,
it.
he
Let's do
confirmed
it.
You
every
the first one.
yeah, everything that I went through that I found, he told me. I'm like, bruh, let's go. You know, I got things to do. And that's what it was. That's what it was.
Hmm.
So but now I kinda wish I had got sick of the pig.
Why?
Huh? Cause I be going through all these treatments. I don't really be feel like I be needing them, but I know I need them because one thing you
Yeah,
said to
she
me
can
one
talk about
time,
that then.
you said to me every time I get my blood work, you say I never my levels never drop, like I never bottomed out. And every time Dr. Zeke would come in there, he would look at my blood work. He goes, I can't even tell you doing chemo. Looking at your blood work, I like, well, maybe I don't need it, you know. But I still went through the process though.
Yeah.
That's good. I
Yeah.
mean, you might have needed to. Yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Ms. Nurse, can
Well,
you
the
speak?
blood work. Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the blood work we were looking at more so for anything, because they weren't running your labs throughout the process of seeing if your cancer was in remission, right? So the work we were really looking at is how well your body is tolerating it. So I don't know if you remember in the beginning when I did your education, we went over how your body should react if you lose hair, your nail bits, and all this other stuff. So people that don't have I don't want to say a strong immune system, but that fight, that
Yeah.
toughness within their body, it tanks their systems, which is a normal response. We expect that. But for those who don't, it's like, okay, cool, let's keep going, because sometimes that first line drug is never the end. You have to go to a second line and a third line, depending on how aggressive the cancer gets, and so depending on how your lab work looks, it depends on which medications they can and can't give you.
Mm.
An education moment for everyone is your kidneys and your liver process a lot of things in your body, especially medication, right? Filter it and eliminate it is the process of the liver and the kidneys. And so once those tank, you just get a buildup of medication in your body. Then it becomes ineffective and more toxic, which happens to most people because chemo is a drug to attack anything that's rapidly dividing in the body. Whether it's good or bad, it does not have a target on it. It's just going in the body to kill anything that's growing rapidly because that's what cancer does. It grows rapidly to destroy. So that's
Mm.
what we're looking at when we're looking at the lab work.
Gotcha. Okay.
Bishara, I do have a question for you.
Mhm.
Uh, would you say that people that normally indulge in drinking, do they take is chemo a little less effective? Is it kind of ineffective? Because you did say it. What our liver and our kidneys filter, and I know sometimes heavy drinkers, your liver and your kidney are already on the cusp of, you know, kind of trying to peace out. So do
Little
you,
shaky.
do you feel like people that drink more often are less susceptible to chemo working?
And you're gonna have a drink while you
Nadine,
say that.
pick up your
I
cup.
Yes.
She's like,
And I go to my doctor regularly.
Yes and no. The reason being is we can do dose reduction. So all meds throughout the body is dose. So if we know like that liver is a little shaky, then it could give a reduction. With the reduction, it comes with increased amounts of times you have to do your chemo. So if they said you only had to do session 6, then you may have to do 12 sessions if your kidney and your liver is on the verge of
that's what it's
tanking.
about.
Gotcha.
They stretch it out.
Okay. To preserve the liver, the kidneys. Yeah, that makes
Protect
sense.
so they won't fall apart.
That's why I tell people, while you're going through, detox your kidneys, detox your liver, drink the proper teas, take the proper detox because you have to strengthen your organs because a lot of people when they're going through the process and they don't make it, it's not really the cancer, it's some type of organ failure.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to strengthen your organs
Yes.
to cleanse them.
Would you
So
also say it has a lot to do with the mental state that people are into? Do you feel like people are more susceptible to the chemo working if they're in a better mental state? Like, hey, I want this, I'm gonna survive. Like, versus being kind of, oh, woe is me, for lack of a better term.
Oh,
Oh,
definitely gotta have.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
gotta have faith. It's like,
Definitely. One thing the mind releases is something called cortisol. And what it
Mm-hmm.
does is it creates sugar in the body and it releases with stress. Um,
Yes.
and that damages the body in so many ways that people don't even realize. Stress is like one of the leading causes of death in the United States, regardless of what else the person may be going through. Stress is a leading cause. It leads to high blood pressure, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, depression, organ failure because not in respiratory failure because they can't effectively breathe when they're under stress. They don't know how to manage their thoughts, and
That's
thoughts
true.
manifest into physical activity.
mm,
Okay.
True. True. Yeah. So like I said, I watched my mama get diagnosed in May. She was 200. Well, she was 6'3", 240, and she went down to 120.
ooh,
I'm like, what in the world? And like you said, it wasn't most sort of the chemo or whatever. She lost her hair and all them things, but it looked like it was the mindset, and she just got tired of fighting. The chemo was, and I think her organs, it got a hold to her organs, and once that happened, like it was downhill. So I didn't like seeing that what it did to her in that little short period of time, and yeah, she had ovarian cancer, and she didn't go to her yearly checkups. And by the time she went for a checkup when she did start taking care of herself because she had diabetes. She started eating different, and by that time it was too late. And I'm like, God, no. So as for anybody that's watching, go see about yourself. The yearly checkups are very important, especially a young lady. She died. She was 52 years old. 52.
mm,
I'm about to be 50 this year. I'm like, Lord, my sister go to that. My sister turned 53. She's also a nurse, and we know the important. We were trying to see we need to get past that number, you know. So it's very important for the mindset. Eat to live, you know. Don't eat everything, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff to stress. My mom was very stressful, depressed that time. Everything you just said. But nobody really educates you on them things. You just go through life and and that thing is taking you out slowly.
mm.
Unforgiveness, always a lot. So like just knowing Ken and watching his attitude. I have never seen nobody have an attitude to get that. I think I was one of the first or second person he told. I might have been the first person.
Hmm.
And
My mama was, but go ahead.
yeah, his mom was the first, but he called me and he was like, "Hey man, we gotta I need you to stay in agreement with me." I said, "All right, whatever." And I was like, "Oh," and when he told me, I'm like, I had to take a deep breath. And he was like, "Okay, we're gonna pray." We prayed and we stand on the scriptures and like we do. He said, "Hey man, we gonna get through this." I said, "All right." Man, that was a lot.
What? It's just a process, bro.
That's
What
real.
but still, this when a person going through is one thing, but you got to be there for a person, and you don't know how to help you, but pray
But see,
and motivate. You know, what I'm saying, I am. I'm not a, woe is me. We're not gonna dwell on it. We're gonna keep going forward, and everything was always positive. And then we started the podcast, and it was just, but to see you wear that machine on you, I'm like, this nigga bionic man. You pumping? What you pumping? Pump falling out. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Trying to survive.
Spewing radiation everywhere. I ain't know what's going on.
Radiation.
For real, my bad, man. Gotta give me
no,
a minute.
man.
There's a lot going on, man.
But no, I shared it with you because a lot of people I didn't tell.
Nah.
Because I look at you to be like a warrior, a prayer warrior. And I didn't share with people who I thought would be negative, that they weren't strong enough.
Yeah.
So I shared it with you. I shared it with my mom. I shared it with Minister Saunders. Other than that, that was it.
Yeah.
I shared it with my so-called significant other. And I say, do not tell anybody, right? Bruh, 20 minutes later.
Not even a day.
Listen.
Oh man.
Listen. When they told me what it was, I was sitting in my bedroom for 2.5 hours trying to decide if I was going to tell the woman I was about to marry. Okay? If I'm just going to handle this, go through it, or if I'm going to tell her. So after 2.5 hours, I said, okay, I'm going to tell her. So then I told her, and I said, don't tell anybody. Right? And, her sisters were downstairs, whatever. And when she walked out the room, cried a little bit, she walked out the room. And, cool. She came back up. I told me everything good, right? And then little sweet Sydney. Sydney's about 9. Sydney comes up like little kids do. She jumped on the bed, whole bunch of energy, happy. Hey, kid, you got cancer? I look like
happy.
Hey, I was like, I just said, don't die.
Yeah.
And she was like, I had to say something.
I mean, side note, the 2 hours that you took, the length of time you took to try and figure that out was your answer in itself.
Because I was just gonna handle it.
Popped.
I was just gonna handle it, deal with it, get over, and just keep moving, just move through the process, because it's like everybody is not on your team.
Yeah.
Everybody don't want to see you win, and a lot of people, they have negative stories about a cancer situation, and they'll lean into that with and I'm like, I don't need that energy.
No.
So if I didn't perceive you to be a warrior, we good. You ain't know nothing. Matter of fact, I got 4 sisters. I didn't even tell my sisters until it was over. Okay? Till it was over. Now, I ain't saying we do got a lot of family dysfunction and drama, but yeah, I wouldn't share it with them.
It's like with anything, your dream, your goals, your aspiration, your desires. You can't share. That's something to take. You got to surround yourself around the right people in a life changing conversation like that, and you got to keep that thing where, because I was taught, the enemy hears what you say, but he can't. The spirit only hears what you think.
Yeah, you want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
Me and Don was at a funeral, right?
Yeah.
Mom Beth's funeral is when she told me, okay, what her diagnosis was. And the first advice I gave her, don't share with everybody, right?
Don't tell nobody.
No.
Don't tell nobody.
I just mentioned this the other day. She told me some stuff like that. I said, how come you didn't tell me? How come you didn't say that? You told me not to tell nobody.
Taking that
Smart.
Yeah, it's like, because she told me that she was about to get ready to go through treatment when it was at the funeral in North Carolina. And I was like, hey, don't say this to everybody, boom.
Yeah.
Go through the process, stay positive, keep moving, yada, yada. And I heard nothing else from her. Nothing. Like, nothing until it was all over and done. What was it, 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2 years. 2 years, so.
But the ironic part about it was that week before the funeral, I had already started chemo. So, and my take on chemo the first go around was, oh, this is
and then it keeps going.
Ooh.
And that was the first dose. I was like, oh, I jumped right back up. I was like, oh, this is a breeze. I don't understand what the problem is. Then as the treatments kept going, I was bottling out.
Can you explain to us what that means?
So my numbers were dropping. So there would be times, my chemo was every 2 weeks. So there would be times where I couldn't get chemo because my numbers wasn't up. And the numbers can't be down for them to give you chemo.
Wow.
And so I wasn't accumulating enough red or white blood cells
To counter it.
So then I would have chemo for those 46 hours. And then on those Fridays, I would go in and I have to get a shot.
B12 or something?
No, not B12. If you have leukemia, they go in and get shots so that their cells can be pulled from their bones.
Oh.
And so I had to go through those shots. And it's worse than having the flu. Because you actually can feel the cells being pulled.
Yes.
So you already had something working against you on top of this.
I do have a question for you both. Is there anything that you guys do since like post recovery? You guys live your life any differently? Is there anything you eat different, do different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sour salt bitters, black seed oil, she legit. You have to get into herbs and supplements.
Come on.
Okay, drinking tea, dandelion tea help detox your liver. It's like you have to get herbal. Do what the doctor say. I'm not finna tell you
Yeah.
not to do what the doctor say do, right? But do your research.
But there are natural remedies, is what you're
Right.
saying.
Because you got to understand about medicine, right? Whatever medicine that they have you on, there's a natural version of it,
Come on.
but they couldn't patent nature. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
They put it in the pill.
yeah, they found it and then they made it synthetic. Now they can patent, they can put you on it. It's just like soursop. They say it's like 4 times stronger than chemo or something like that. But people don't promote taking soursop tea leaves or soursop bitters or whatnot. So I do a little bit of everything. Now the funny thing, this ain't even funny. I heard, okay, chemo. I mean not chemo. Cancer can't survive in an alkaline
Yes.
body, right? And so then it was like they say if you take a teaspoon of baking soda and some warm water and just drink it twice a day, it helps alkaline your body,
Yes.
right?
Because cancer cannot survive in an alkaline body.
Right, and it
That's true.
reduces tumors. Now check this out. I was in the store.
The nurse.
I was in the store just last night, right? Up in I was in North Carolina. No, I was still in South Carolina, right? You know, South Carolina resident. You know, I don't want to say hillbilly nothing like that, but you know,
You
I was
said
I was in there. I did say it, didn't I?
You just said.
And I got some hot tea, right? Some hot water for my tea, right? And she's going to charge me. I said, I just got the hot water, to make my tea. I'll be having like gastric issues, whatever, and the hot water chills it, right?
Yeah.
So she didn't charge me. And she goes, my husband, he has these things going. He got like holes in the stomach lining and this and that. And what he does every morning, he gets some warm water and a teaspoon of baking soda. I'm sitting there like, I just found this out like a month ago. She said that like they knew this all their life.
They do.
And she's like, he does this every day. And she did not relate anything about it to cancer or anything.
It's just something to keep your body healthy.
Yeah, I'm sitting there looking at this. Man, it's like 2:00 in the morning. I'm sitting there looking at this woman. You don't even know what she's saying to me. Like you don't even know what I.
You don't meet anybody by mistake.
Hey,
I got a question for the nurse. She's still on here?
Yes.
Miss Nurse?
Miss Sherelle.
Miss Sherelle?
I'm here.
So when you done met a lot of patients, I guess, in these situations, right?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
So do you pray before you talk to these people? How you go in every day to deal with people and give them this educational background? You know they're gonna have this immediate burst of all these things, these thoughts and these negative connotations around this word. So how do you prepare yourself to give this advice to these people in the best way you can to keep them alive?
So every day when I wake up, I do my routine, right? I pray before my feet hit the ground. Thank you, Lord, for waking me up. A faithful prayer that I've been saying since I've been
Okay.
in nursing is to guide my words, guide my touch, and guide my mind. Because you never know who you're coming in touch with. And granted, I'm a nurse. I went to school for this, but medicine is evolving every day. Test is evolving every day. So no, I don't know everything, but my hope is that God used me to be able to touch these people. He made us. He made the doctor. That made the doctor. That made the doctor. And the final say so lands in His court, not ours. We could do all that we want to do, but we have to have faith. We have to have faith and trust and believe that what He called us to, He want to see us through. Okay? The word says, no weapon shall form will prosper. Not
Is
that
it?
they won't come, but that they won't prosper. And I believe that your testimony isn't for you. We ask Him to use us as a living vessel and as His temple. And so when He does that, He don't tell you how He gonna do it. He didn't say it was gonna be peaches and cream. He just uses you. So Diamond and Kenneth's story is not necessarily for them. It's for someone else that's gonna walk these same lines. Your story, your mom going through what she went through, is gonna allow you to be able to talk to others that's going through this and pray with them and teach them how to keep the faith and things like that. So every day I do pray mentally to myself If a patient want me to pray with them, I'll pray with them. But I don't overstep my boundaries because I don't want to put anyone in an uncomfortable position. But silently, I do pray alone.
Wow, that's good.
She's
That's good.
special.
Do you So what do you do with that person that ain't doing good mentally and falling apart? What do you say to them?
So my whole thing is I treat the holistic person, right? I'm not treating a disease. Um, and find out what it is that's driving their mental. We go in and we start giving all this information, and the people aren't receptive. You come in and tell me I have cancer. Everything you say past that point has went out the window, right? I don't care about no treatment. I don't care about no cord. I don't care about nothing. So meeting them where they are, I'm very, very patient. I would sit and talk with my patients. When I left Piedmont, I went inpatient, which is a totally different realm. They stayed there longer. Their family is bedside with them. So getting to know them and kind of honing in on that. If it's something like, I'll say I was a rule breaker. People have kids. They can't be in the hospital. But if that's what's going to drive your mental to help you through this process, we're going to bring your kids in here. I'll deal with the politics of it later.
I like that.
She's
Yeah.
strong.
See, God put people like yourself, what I'm saying, my sisters and everything, y'all, like the rule breakers, that's God is not put in a box, You're not gonna put him in a box. He gonna have people like yourself as gatekeepers to talk to his children when they're going through. And I thank you for your service and what you're doing. Y'all got any questions for us? That's a lot.
No, bless your heart. It takes a strong person to do what you do.
What?
Seriously,
Every day?
You do that every single day. Just it is a job, but you care about your job. You like your job. You love your job. You love the patients you deal with.
It's a calling.
I appreciate you. I know somebody else does too.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
For sure.
And what
Like, she's my first memory of treatment.
you told me, I remember.
Yeah.
So Miss Nurse, I know you gotta go, but what can you look in the camera and tell somebody that may have got that diagnosis today and then strolling by and running to our video, what would you say to that person?
Keep fighting. Let your journey be your journey, right? It's a process. The next man next to you can't tell you how you're going to go through that process. If you're a believer, pray. He
Yes.
hears tears, he hears moans, he hears cries, he hears words, he knows your thoughts, and he's walking with you. So keep the faith, go through the process, and even on the bad days, just know that this is not the end all be all, and God has the last say so.
Yes.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
You got any questions for me?
Thank you.
Oh, cause we about to get
I
deep.
gotta answer that question too.
Oh, okay. I missed. Okay, what does baking soda? Okay, what baking soda does? You drink a glass of baking soda. I mean, a glass of water with a teaspoon of baking soda. It helps alkalines the body. People don't drink. Oh, I'm drinking alkaline water. No.
And
Yeah. Because if you alkaline the body, disease
can't
cannot
stay there.
stay in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Because disease like to be in the
Toxicity.
acid-based body instead of the alkaline body.
Yes.
So, but yeah, a teaspoon twice a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It straighten you out.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that's the reason why we eat the American diet is so acidic
Terrible.
and toxic. Our body is continuously trying to filter these toxins out, and sometimes it don't do a good job if your kidneys and livers are not functioning properly. So the body takes on all these toxins and start harboring all these dis-ease in the body, like what you're talking about. Then the stress and it's so many factors that goes on to this machine that we wear as a body, and sometimes it ain't being managed correctly. So we got to that's why we got to take the multivitamin. That's why we got to go to the doctor regular. That's why we need to not eat everything. It's a lot of things, and most time people don't adhere to none of that. They just do what they want to do, smoke, drink, do everything, and think the body is gonna hold up forever, and they're not gonna go get no checkups and check engine light on. And like what? So yeah,
Not driving with the check engine light.
I'm telling you, man. People,
that thing gonna stop one day.
hey, people go like, oh man, my chest hurting. And It's just stuff they be telling, like your body telling you, like, oh no, I got a stomach ain't right, and ain't used the bathroom in 3 days. No, if you ain't used the
That's
bathroom
women.
every
That's
day,
women.
something
That's
wrong.
women. That's women.
That's men.
No.
He always
bathroom.
does that. We
No,
always does that.
that's
Really,
women.
Really,
No, I use the
serious.
bathroom every day. You
Hey,
eat your
women
pear
be going
apple.
a whole week, bruh. Some women out here go a whole week.
You gonna see about that.
They won't
you know
have
what I'm saying?
A
movement.
week is crazy.
That's
Is
what
she
I'm
not
saying.
eating?
So
Oh
that's
my
what I'm saying.
God.
So stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't say nothing, you know what I'm saying? You gotta eat an apple or something. Apple or pear, it works every day.
I also kind of want to build off of what Kim was saying about the baking soda and the water. So
Yes.
there is, so I'm of that generation, guys. There is a book on TikTok called the Apothecary Book, and it's got like.
I'm ordering that
Yeah.
book.
What?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yes,
Like
yes.
I
I got that
ordered it
book.
a couple
Yeah.
days ago,
Yes.
and it's got
I got that book. We
it's
talked
either
about it.
150. Is it 150 or 300? It's got
What?
natural
Everything.
remedies, every spice, every seasoning, and mind you, all this stuff that God put on our green earth, all this stuff that grows, like it all has a purpose. Just like you have a purpose, all those plants, all those herbs, they have a purpose. And that apothecary book tells you what dosage, what herb, what to mix it with, how often to take it. So apothecary book on TikTok. I'm so excited. I'm waiting for it to get in. But
You know who
shipping
buys
5
most of them
days.
books?
One more time.
You know who buys up those books the most?
Who?
Pharmaceutical companies.
Oh, I believe it.
Because they don't want you to
Yeah.
have that.
Mhm.
Because then you won't need them.
So, and then mind you, you also said that yes, they find nature. You can't patent nature. So you take nature, you synthesize it, and then once you synthesize it and make it into a pill or a little drink that you drink,
Mm-hmm.
it's it causes other side effects, and so now you need another pill that they synthesized and
Oh, we gonna get on
use
that.
that apothecary book.
We gonna get that. Hold on. Hey, Miss Sherelle,
Yes,
She said yes.
you still there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
Okay. Hey, I don't wanna hold you all night, but if we can, we will. But I wanna thank you. All right, very, very, very much for coming on. You've been very insightful because people need people like you, not just at the hospital, but even in our communities, just in everyday life. Okay? Because I'm telling you, if I had met somebody else when I first started going through, my perspective may have been a little different. The one thing that she said when she looked at my treatment plan, she goes, "Yeah, they're going to cure you. They're trying to cure you." Like there was an option not to. And when you said that to me, that's all I remember. Like, okay, yeah, we gonna do this. Like, because I took it as like there's people come through that they don't do that with. You see what I'm saying? And because Dom asked me, she goes, "How come you didn't do radiation?" I just did the chemo with no radiation. And I was like, I don't know, but I'm good.
Do we have time to tap into that? I personally didn't know there was a difference. I
There's
thought
both.
chemo.
Yeah, she's about to talk about that.
Okay.
Oh,
Can you tell us
elaborate
the
on
difference
that?
between those two?
Yeah, so chemo is the medication form going through the body. Think of radiation as this laser that's touching your body and trying to hit these hot spots. Say if your cancer is on your chest, you have some type of skin cancer. The radiation is like this laser that's just attacking that specific area. So it's not as harsh as chemo. It's a little more targeted and less sensitive. But like everything, there's a side effect. Um, and everybody don't make it to the stage of being given either option. And so that's where it's very, very important for you to go in. If you feel like your body is just not functioning right, something off, you don't know what it is, just go get checked because those are the little cues and signs that the body is trying to let you know, like, hey, something's not right. So go get it checked. But everybody don't have the option. They'll get told you have chemo and there's nothing that we could do about it. I mean, you have cancer and there's nothing that we could do about it.
Oh my gosh.
And they're left with what else can I do
Yeah.
when there's nothing else for them to do.
Wow.
That's heavy.
I ain't going nowhere.
I don't even know what to say to that. That's so heavy.
Yeah.
If they said you have cancer, we have no treatment for you, right? You know what I would tell them?
Pray.
I'll see y'all next year. I gotta go talk to my father for a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta have faith. You gotta have
Pray.
Yeah. And that's
my
the
language.
part that y'all can talk about, because that's the part that I think that's more helpful for a person. What mindset you got to be in daily. First of all, you can't just dwell on. You got to get up and do something. You got to go get some fresh sun.
Keep moving.
You got to. I remember we talked about. So that's the part that I think people need. Cause you get it, you got it. You ain't no not what you do. It's the second day, or do you gonna get up, or you gonna lay there? You know what I'm saying? Or what that process look like mentally?
Man.
Because everybody ain't gonna just shake it off. Like you know your word. Everybody just don't shake certain things off and just get up and like, okay, no, like how do the fight look? I want to ask y'all too. What do the fight plan look like? Because y'all here now, y'all still here. What's the fight plan look like? That just came to me.
Yeah, what's your fight plan?
Oh, I didn't have one.
You had to.
I didn't have one.
You was one of God's strongest soldiers. You was like, we gonna beat this.
No, I wasn't there either.
Oh,
okay. Where you were mentally. See, that's the part that people want to.
So going to the clinic and getting the treatment and stuff like that, I put a smile on my face because everybody in there was going through the same thing. But privately, I was in my own hell of like, I don't think I want to do this.
That's real.
That's real.
Like you got toxins going through your body, and there's days that you can't get out of bed. You want to get out of bed, but you can't get out of bed. There's days where you are vomiting because you can't keep nothing down. Food loses its taste, so you don't want to eat. Like those are the days behind the scenes of it all. You don't get to see those because everybody say put a smile on your face, show them that you're happy. But I wasn't happy. I told my mom, I said, if I had to do this all over again, I wouldn't do it. Because I couldn't deal with the toxic. I couldn't deal with the smell, the reek of, like, chemo. Like, it poured out of your pores.
Yeah.
Like, my room just
You
smelled
can
like it.
smell it. Oh, wow.
So, see, people don't talk about this part of it. I never heard
They
this part.
don't, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what people want to, what like I said, you had a plan, you still hit her. So, your mama sounded like she was a coach in your angel in your corner.
Heard.
You gotta have. Think about it. Like
her baby's life.
Yeah,
That
like
was
what you doing?
Answer.
Get up. You probably sleep too long. Get up.
Yeah.
Like, hold on. Get up.
She was checking on you every 3
Yeah.
hours when you was asleep.
You got to monitor at your bed like you the baby. Get up.
Hey, you want to
Go walk around.
Want to tell you my funniest moment?
Go ahead.
We was about to record one night, right? Y'all was on the way over, right?
Yeah.
I was getting ready. I looked in the mirror and I realized my mustache was gone. I was like, whoa.
From the radiation?
Yeah, it was like my second round. Like my mustache was
He
gone.
had to wear.
And all that stuff was gone. I was like, hey, bruh. Hey, I don't feel
I
good.
can't do it. I have a mustache. Forget what I'm going through.
I canceled.
We can't do it.
I canceled on y'all that night for the simple fact I looked in the mirror and my mustache was gone. I was like, it was gone so bad where I had to just cut it all off and just have this on the chin. It was like, nah, we ain't recording tonight, bruh.
So it's funny, but it's not because
Yeah.
you were losing hair from it. I'm guessing you were already bald.
Right. See, I had 2
Yeah,
rounds.
yeah.
The first round of chemo was cool. But the year later, I went through the second round. Okay.
The second round was more.
And then when that happened, I was like, oh, no, we're not recording
I
tonight.
think he went back to the doctor and everything. He had the question well. Like, hold on, man. Give me a lighter dose on this machine. I think he started trying to drop the machine and stuff and break it. I said,
No,
what are you doing?
man.
He pulling that thing out. What are you doing? I said,
It was that day that I was like, oh, hell no.
We ain't doing it.
That day. Well, I had no mustache. It was just gone.
And that's where you drew the line.
It was like,
Hurt.
I was like, what's gone when you sit there? Okay, I just cut the rest of it off.
yeah.
Yeah, it was gone like that.
So what was the plan, man? What was your plan? You had to have something had to kick in, some kind of survival mechanism or something.
I'm gonna be simple. The favorite song I have that Eminem does is "Lose Yourself," right? And there's a line in the song where he says, "Failure's not an option," and that's what I think about every day. I can't fail. Like I'm gonna go through the process and get this over with to deal with what's next. Simple as that. It's like me not making it in my mind was never an option. I've been through so much in life. I'm like, Lord, I know you didn't get me to this day to drop me off here. I got more stuff that I know you want me to do. And there's more stuff I know I want to do. So let's get it.
sometimes we don't realize how strong we are until God gives us the challenge
Oh,
to
boy.
show us how strong we are.
Yeah.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
So for sure,
Ooh.
Be
I feel
careful.
like I've been the strongest soldier for a minute. I don't want that. I don't want that task anymore.
You know when they talk, people talk about life, and you hear with women a lot, but just a person in general when they talk about being in survival mode. When you have cancer, every day you instantly in survival mode. You know, and it's like one, you don't want to. Well, me personally, I don't want a pity party.
No,
You know, it's like I don't want to hit negativity from nobody, or whatever. So it's like, man, I'm in survival mode. If you can't help me, we're not talking. Like you're not part of the process. No, we're not really talking.
You have nothing for me.
Yeah, like I have so many associates. I won't even say friends. After the fact that, man, I didn't even know. I was like, yeah. When your business, I didn't perceive you to be a positive person. To be able to handle that. I didn't think your energy was strong enough for what I was going through. So I just kept it to myself.
And even that, like it isn't technically anybody's business. You're right. You share that.
Everybody can't handle it.
You, your creator, and whoever you're comfortable with, for sure.
You're here
If
for
it takes 2 hours to figure out if you want to tell them or not, don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Well, we can write a clock. We was on set one night, and me and KB was talking, and we just talking and mentioned it, right? And Kiana, she was like producing the show, but she never knew. And then she heard me and KB talking. She stopped everything. She go, wait, nah, you just not gonna just go over that. You just not just.
You just said you had kids.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm like, what you talking about? She's like, no, we not just gonna just let that go. What's going on? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
I think also, y'all say something powerful. You go to checkups. I think every year a person needs to at least have a full body cleanse.
Oh yeah, I got this.
Literally, everybody should cleanse. Everybody should really look at how they eating every day.
Yeah.
Really pay attention to what you taking into your body and things like that. Take a walk. Try not to stress on the little things. Try not to worry about the things that is out of your control. Live a little bit. Have a purpose. Cause I think that keeps you alive too. If you got something that God got you to do, you ain't going nowhere. I don't care if you barely can move, you gonna still be here. So I think having a purpose and having a reason to wake up every day really helps. And I think going forward, y'all two need to come up with a manual or something.
Well, actually,
okay.
Do you want to tell them?
Oh, what you been working on? Come on.
Oh no, me and Ken is planning on writing a book.
There you go.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Because they need
that. They need that story.
Yeah. Because people, like I said, they don't know. You get this, like, what do I do? Books for everything. What is the plan? Like, that's why I said, what's the plan? Like, you got to have a certain mindset. You got to surround yourself around the right people. You got to change your eating habit. You got to work out. You got to have a purpose. All these things we talking about now with a person, if you don't know, they just fall apart.
Yeah.
And thinking it ain't no plan. Woe is me. This is the end of my life. And that's the lie and the trick of the enemy. So
that's not opposite.
You give them hope.
I got one.
So,
go ahead.
Even speaking to both of you guys both had different mindsets going into it.
Yeah.
However, your mindsets were both strong, and
my mom was there.
I've got more questions for you.
My mom was there. I also had my friends, but it's been over 20-some years.
You've been dealing with something.
So I was at the point of like, I just want to rest.
Gotcha. So that's a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Ma'am, you're not resting.
Yeah, we on podcast.
Okay, you can't rest.
Ain't no rest.
I got something. I'm asking.
Time.
Nurse Sherelle.
I'm
here.
She here.
Okay, let me know if you heard about this. Okay, I tell men now they need to take a pregnancy test once a year.
Let him cook, y'all. I know I did the same thing. Let him cook.
Okay, Nurse Sherelle, have you heard about that?
Never.
Okay. The hormones when a woman takes a pregnancy test, right? What the test picks up on says that she's pregnant. It's those same hormones a man produces if he has cancer.
Come on.
Okay? There was a story where a woman took a pregnancy test. She got a cheap pregnancy test from the dollar store. And then Her boyfriend like, you ain't pregnant. That's a cheap test. It's a cheap test. Look, you get 2 in the box. Watch it. I'll take one that's gonna say positive.
Oh my goodness.
And he took the test and it said it was positive that he was pregnant. He's like, I told you it don't work, right?
Yeah.
So then she goes to the actual doctor and gets a test, and she's really pregnant. Then he was like, why would he say that I was pregnant?
No.
And he did the research. It turns out he had cancer.
That is crazy. So men can pee on a stick and figure out.
Yeah, at least once a year, a man needs to take a pregnancy test.
Wow.
You never heard that, Mr. Rel?
She said no.
Wow.
I never heard of it, but it's not shocking to me because most men think that they can't get breast cancer.
Ooh.
And it is common in men, like it is common in women. And one of the hormones women produce is produced in men, and that's what detects the breast cancer.
Oh my gosh.
See? Yeah.
I'm learning so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Put
fellas,
put that in the book too.
yeah, when you go to the dollar store, get you a pregnancy. Get about
2.
4, 5 of them.
Y'all both in that pen. They're both y'all going there.
Yeah, just in case you got to give her one.
Everybody peeing on stick. We're gonna see tonight. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm negative. I'm sorry. Let me stop. I'm just saying.
Hey, you negative, but she
Yeah,
yeah.
like you probably oh. One at a time. No, let me stop.
No, this is great.
But no, like again, man, I think it's the preventive. Y'all got anything to tell people about? Ms. Nurse, can you give us, Mr. Rel, can you give us some things about being preventive? I guess whole body, what's some things you can do to prevent? I know the baking soda and water, I know the different diets, the less stress. Anything else you can tell us that can help us? Help the people?
Honestly, just constantly keep doing your checks. Really, do your checks. It's probably a 3% population where they've done everything that they could, and they get it. Know your family history.
Okay, there you go.
Cancer is genetic. So know your family history because somewhere down that line, someone had something that could have triggered for cancer.
You're right.
Wow.
You know what I've noticed
Family tree.
as of late? Look, I wish my mom had came down here. My mom's about to be 78 on Sunday, right? And I think about her whole generation, and I'm like, maybe one person may have had cancer, right? I think my grandmother, right? But other than that, nobody. Then I look at my generation, and then I look at the generation of my kids. We got like me, Dom, what's Doran's oldest son name? Michael. It's like I see it more in the younger generations than in the older generations. It's almost like the generations before us are like, yeah, we got back that. I mean, we got past that. But it's more so now, you got people in their 30s and their 40s, you know.
The processed foods. The
It's a lot of different lifestyles.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's like,
Vapes. Oh gosh. Yeah.
So the older, the elderly, and the previous generation, they're not getting cancers, but everybody out there is getting it though. That's what I noticed though. That's what I noticed. I seen a lot of that. I see cancer in younger patients than more so than I see in older patients. Have you seen that?
Your older patients not at McDonald's and Wendy's and
Come on.
yeah,
that
they get a lot
process.
of home cooked food. Like they cook. Us, we at this restaurant, that restaurant, this restaurant, and we don't know what they're doing in their kitchen. We don't know what they're processing that food with. So I do say if you can eat organically, eat organically. If you can grow it yourself, grow it yourself. Not me, I'm not growing, but I'll pay somebody. Not my forte. But if you can do that because you take control of what's going in your body versus leaving it in the hands of somebody else.
I like that. You answer that question.
Okay, what's the question?
Deb still. You know what that is? You know what that is?
Yes.
Okay. So did his doctor say there's a correlation between a positive pregnancy test and his cancer? And what kind of cancer did he have? So you trying to see did you pee on the stick, and that's when you found out. That was you.
No.
That's what. Yeah.
Oh no. I seen the story about that
Okay.
situation. No, I did not. No, I've never peed on a stick.
That was just trying to see.
Okay.
Like, okay, you peed on the stick.
So
Hey.
are you gonna pee on a stick going forward?
Hey, I cause people to pee on the stick.
Can't
Oh,
give
Lord.
and not take your own advice. Wait a minute.
No, I know what I got. I know what I'm dealing with. What I'm saying is, if you've never been diagnosed, if you feel like you're generally healthy, just once a year, man, just $1-2, just
Pee on the stick.
pee on the stick.
That's funny.
If it's
Put it
positive,
outside.
yeah, outside.
Pee on the stick. Okay.
Okay.
Outside on the stick.
See? Horrible.
Man, I don't know how y'all do it where you come from, but we had bathrooms.
Well, you know, hey, 4.
What?
We it was
I'd be
horrible.
a little reckless if I had one of those too. We're forced to go to the restroom. Sorry, go. I mean,
Let it go.
Sorry. I'm just saying.
Any other
It's
questions?
an option.
Any other questions?
But it would be with one of those things on me. Okay, so go ahead.
Any questions? Anything you want to say to anybody? You know what I'm saying? Somebody, like I said, might be going through, scrolling through and see you. They need what you got to say to them.
I
Say
would
something
just
to
say
them.
go get like your normal checkup, your annual. If you have any underlying conditions, pay attention to that. Pay attention if you wind up sleeping more than normal, or if you start feeling a pain that never goes away.
Yeah.
Like go to the doctor and get checked, and advocate for yourself. Like you can't just sit there and you go to the doctor and you don't say nothing, and you can't just take their word for it. Like I cuss my doctors off. Hey, that's my way of advocating. They
You do.
nurses be laughing because hey, I'm advocating for myself. You're not just gonna tell me anything.
Hey,
that
nobody
went to
knows
school.
you. Nobody knows you better than you.
That's that Leo stuff. My mom was a Leo too. That's another thing.
What's
Lord,
wrong with
man.
Leos, man?
I ain't not. No, y'all. This is who
You
y'all
just
are.
told us she cussed her doctor.
Yeah.
out. Wait a
And
minute.
you block everybody.
You block him.
And my mom was uncut. Like same thing. Like she either she like you or she don't.
I don't block everybody. I do have kids.
That's the ones you really
I was
block.
gonna say he told us last week
There
he
you
blocked
kid.
his daughter.
Evidently, I ain't blocked their mama.
Oh Lord.
So somebody can get in contact.
I'm joking. We good.
All right, Ken, what you gonna say, bro?
Hey, go get a checkup. All right, self-care. I don't know. I'm stuck right now because there's so much I want to say, but I
Say it.
can't say it the way I want to say it.
Just say it.
Okay, men, take care of yourself. Go to the doctor. Okay, I know we get the man. True story. Mike Saunders. He hit his leg on the landing gear of a trailer, right?
Yeah.
For like 2 or 3 days, he walked around just a little pain in his leg, and he's like, "Oh, it'll go away." He up in Kentucky, and by the grace of God, he decided instead of sleeping at the warehouse waiting on his load, he went to the truck stop and spent the night. Got up that morning to go inside. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
as he was walking across the parking lot, he just dropped. Okay, and he couldn't breathe. And the guy come up there, he said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I can't breathe." He's like, "You need some help?" "Yeah." When we call ambulance, he's like, "Yeah." Turns out, when he hit his leg on the landing gear of the truck a few days earlier, he had gotten a blood clot.
Oh.
And it had traveled all the way up in his lungs till he couldn't breathe. He dropped. If he had a slept at the warehouse waiting to get his load,
Yeah,
done.
gone for
this
sure.
Minister Saunders, the one.
Oh.
Yeah. So the simplest little things, go and get it checked out. We are Superman, but we ain't
Yeah.
Superman.
I be going there, but
You understand? Let me say that again. We are Superman, but we not Superman. Okay? Let that sink in. If you don't get it, you ain't him. But still, okay? Really, the simplest stuff, go and get checked out. I thought I had a hernia. Man, my appendix was leaking this stuff called mucin, and it was making tumors everywhere. Okay?
wow.
So what I thought is when you have a hernia, that's when you have a weakness in your stomach wall and your intestines bulge through. You know when you strain, right?
Yeah.
So they go, they push it back in, they put the little sleeve thing, they sew it up, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
No more, right? So that's what I'm thinking it is. But no, it was tumors. Man, I got a picture that y'all told me I couldn't show. They cut me, I call it a full zipper, all the way down and open me up. And you just see all the tumors in. Because when I had the surgery, I asked the doc, I said, "Hey, can you take a picture?" Yeah, I'm funny like that, you know.
How many tumors was
Because
it?
I don't want to see what I look
How
like.
many
on the
tumors
side.
was it?
It was a lot, bro.
For real?
You got to think, my appendix was leaking.
And you said it was
It there was
creating
boom,
stuff.
boom.
Just,
Yeah, it was just making tumors. So they had to go in and scrape all that stuff out. Then take out the appendix. Then take out the spleen. Then take out the gallbladder. You see what I'm
they
saying?
took all your organs out and were.
That's why you got an
cleansed
Android. That's why
Well, she said he took them out
That's why you
clean.
got
No,
I
an
mean,
Android.
I'm like picturing
You're
what
not
the
from
doctors
that.
had to go
That's why you
through.
got-
they
that's why you
took
got
them
an
out.
Android.
They took them out and they're gone.
He is one.
Yeah, they took them out and they're gone.
You're Android, man.
Okay, and you know, like I said, I went for something simple
Yeah.
that I experienced early in life before, and it turns out that's not what it was. Sometimes we think we know what it is and we don't know. So
Yeah.
go and get the
That's
check.
what you
Wait, I'm gonna say this. I got my camera.
do. There you go.
Get healthcare. Okay, go in the healthcare market, and I'm gonna say this. This is my commercial. Because I am better, I'm
You
better.
need to call them. So
Okay.
this is shot.
Because man, I look at them bills that them people paid for me.
Serious.
Woof, woof,
I'm better.
woof. I ain't have insurance policy like that, but yeah, they took care, bro.
But you can't sit there and tell them to go get health insurance. Then they're not going to go to the doctor. They just need to go to a doctor.
What
It's not-
reason?
It has nothing to do with health.
So
What-
a
what
lot
reason?
of people
They
do
need
have.
to go to the doctor.
People are not going
They
to the
don't go
doctor because
Because
they
they
can't
don't have
afford the
insurance.
bill.
So
Yeah.
they're
So as a person
uneducated.
who works in insurance,
Huh? Okay,
go to the emergency room.
Oh, they
Wait.
really ain't gonna go there.
watch this. Watch
Them
this.
bills-
Bills in the
There-
mail, too.
There's financial assistance. So
Oh, I
you
ain't
go,
everybody
you
know
go to
that.
the emergency room.
Everybody don't know that.
Anything that's
I didn't know
ailing
that.
you, and
Just look in the
you
camera,
si-
tell your
you-
people.
Like
Go to
you
the
go
doctor.
in there, you let them know what's going on with you, and then your doctor, whoever that emergency doctor is telling you what's going on with you. You know, they do X-rays and stuff like that. You may not have the money, but you can apply for financial assistance. They're actually applying you for Medicaid.
Okay.
Don't sit there and say get insurance.
Well,
Like no, sir. Don't give out wrong information.
why is she attacking me up front? Make this a real, please. But no, my personal thing was I knew I had the hernia, but at the time I had no insurance. Then I purposely went and got insurance, and my insurance became active on like the 2nd of August. My doctor's appointment was on the 4th. I was in surgery on the 12th. Now,
That's
if
a
I had not had
blessing.
insurance, I wouldn't have gone.
Yes, that's a blessing and everything, but you can't tell people not to go to the hospital with no insurance.
I didn't say not to go. I just told them to get insurance.
Some can't afford it.
Just go to the doctor, she said.
Now, I got free game.
I
Okay.
cannot.
If you go in the healthcare market,
That's-
and let's say you cut yards, right? As long as you don't make over, because they ask you, what do you project that you're going to make for the year? I think I'm going to make about $25,000-$30,000, okay? You're probably going to be paying about $65 a month for full coverage health insurance. Free game. Now, if you so happen to make $50,000-$60,000, I guess you had a good year. You did a projection, and your projection was you went over your projection. Now they're gonna make the adjustment the next year. Then you probably be paying $120 a month. Okay,
But you got
But-
insurance.
you got insurance. It's just
Well,
free game. They
Go by
ask
how
you,
much you make.
Yeah.
Projection.
yeah, what do you project? Okay,
That's good information.
I project I'm gonna be broke.
Not trying to be funny, but y'all all know we got Trump in the office.
Uh-oh.
Stop playing.
Did you say that man name on set?
Oh man.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions, concerns? I like the show. I think it's very informative.
Yes.
Anything else, Tom?
I said the orange man name.
There you go. Let's say the orange man.
The orange man.
Yeah. You got anything, Bash?
That besides, I mean, so it sounds like a lot of people are maybe undereducated on insurance. You can look into your state insurance. A lot of times that is free.
Yeah.
If you don't look into that, we were told to go into the emergency room, and they
Let's
do
go.
have payment plans or
Financial
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 assistance. But bottom line, take care of you. There are no excuses, not even school, not work, not your family, because if something is wrong with you, you can't give anything to anybody. Plus, work should never be an excuse because I'm going to be transparent. If you die, they put your job on the market probably that day. Like, they're not waiting. So don't wait on your job to go see if you're okay. Make sure you're okay for you, your friends, your family. Somebody cares about you. Don't let it go unchecked. Be on the stick once a year, according to Ken.
For the men.
For the men. Yeah.
Women don't go out and do that.
I mean, well, they need to do that
Hey.
depending on how,
Kid
but
got
that's a whole different story.
Depend-
Yeah, man.
Depends on if they living that hot girl life.
And then we were also told to look into Am Better. Is Am Better?
Oh, that's my favorite. You can get Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, but I've had Ambetter now for like the last 4 years, and I stand on that because of Ambetter. I am better.
Yeah.
We gonna call them and get a sponsorship.
Yes, I am better. I mean,
So-
man, if you just go in the portal and just look at the bills that are paid, you just realize how blessed you are. You know, that they check it for you like that. You see what I'm saying? It's like, man, when you go in the hospital and you stay for 9 days, okay? Then you come out, then you go in again 2 months later and you stay for 8 days. Then you come out, then you go back 3 months later and you stay for 6 days. You know, that's how we got a lot of our followers too.
Close us
Been in the
out,
hospital for so long.
man. Y'all two close us out, man. This is y'all.
Oh, before they
Good
close
topic.
us out, it does look like so we have some more advice. Community health centers usually work off of a sliding fee, a fee scale based on your income. Okay, so a lot of times it looks like community health centers you'll pay based off what you can afford. So
Gotcha. Thank you for that
again, no
information,
excuses.
Miss Steele.
Okay.
We'll close us out, man. It's your show.
I thought you closed out.
Oh, that was
Hey,
it?
Miss Sherelle still with us?
I want to thank her.
Hey, I really appreciate you, and we want to get you in here live, and we want to cover more topics. We want to go a little bit more in depth. You're very knowledgeable. You're very helpful to the community.
Yes,
okay?
thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
and you making it on the show, even on Zoom, I'm gonna tell you, it has been better than a blessing. Okay, better than a blessing, because she said some stuff I didn't know, and yeah, it was very insightful.
Very educational. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
That
letting
works
God
out.
use you,
And I want to
homegirl.
add to y'all insurance thing. Y'all can always come to Grady. Our doors are open.
If we-
Insurance, no insurance. Everybody, just come to Grady, okay?
But wait, hold on, wait. We in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
How many people go to Grady but don't come
Everybody.
home?
Oh, they do good.
What
What
you
you
mean?
I don't know. It's like
They good.
I mean, Grady's good, but this day and time, post pandemic, people go to the hospital for. I can't even say that. I ain't gonna say that.
Grady
Hey,
good. What are the shit?
no, Grady
Best
good.
ones.
But ever since I've been in Atlanta for like 20 plus since '96, I always made a point to stay away from Grady. I'm just saying that.
That's a conversation for another day. But what I will say, if you have a cold, don't come to Grady. You're gonna be sitting in the emergency room for some days. If
There you
have
go.
something serious going on,
Serious
come to
trauma.
Grady. But if you got a cold and all that, sneeze and don't come. You're gonna be in the emergency room. I'm gonna tell you.
Urgent.
That's what I was hearing. That's what I hear.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was hearing. But if you got gunshot wounds,
Oh,
stab,
yeah, they
go to
looking for
Grady.
you. They looking
Oh,
for you.
for sure.
Yeah, go to Grady.
They specialize
They
in
in the
that.
hallway like, nah.
They got people waiting on that.
Leg falling off. Come on, get
Yeah.
this is what we want tonight.
Yeah.
I had a friend.
Hey, I
with
don't mean to badmouth Grady.
No, they good.
And while we still have you here, tell us. I don't remember what it was, but tell us about your awards that you got.
So,
Yeah.
nominated for
Super
AJ,
nurse.
nominated for AJC Nurse of the Year 23. Nomination again this year, AJC Nurse of the Year 24. I am going to Nurses Week, which is May 6th through the 12th, to hopefully speak. That's my goal. I'm going to speak it into existence to speak to the up and coming generation of nursing. Rookie of the Year back in 2019 as a nurse, and a nominated Daisy Award of 2024.
Yeah.
Miss Sherelle. All
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
You in the league of nurses. Like, okay. Wow,
Yeah.
congratulations, man. Like, continue
Thank
to do
you.
what you do, man. God is truly with you.
Yeah. She's not a regular nurse.
No, not at all. The world appreciates
One of the
people
best.
like you,
Yes.
for
You're the
sure.
best, man.
Yes.
One of the best. On the
Yes.
front line. On the front line.
That's why I'm still here, bro.
Hey.
I'm still here. So
Wow.
God
Okay.
is why you're still here.
God and Miss Sherelle.
Yep.
I take that. I take that. I take that. I take that.
You gonna close up? Or you want
You
me to-
gonna close us out, bro?
Okay. Congratulations. Oh yeah.
On your survival, for
Yeah.
sure.
So we want to thank everybody for watching us. Like I said, very informative for everybody. We have more shows like this. We're gonna continue to give insight. We're gonna give wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We're gonna give you good topics. We're gonna bring people in, experts, researchers. Ms. Dom ain't tell much about herself, but she's a world-renowned researcher.
Yeah.
She don't want to disclose on this episode, but she will be on future shows, and she'll come back and brace us with her presence. But we just want to thank everybody that continue to check us out on all platforms. Singleton Brown Live. Like, subscribe, follow. We go live every Thursday. We got a lot of special things coming up. Kiana, really? What you say? We go live on, she telling me what to do. We go live every Thursday at 7. So check us out on Roku TV, Gift TV. Check us out. We're coming to a stage, a platform near you. We also, on Roku TV, Gift TV. That's cool, Kiana. Since you give me all these directions. But who are we, man?
We are Singleton.
And I'm Brown.
And I'm Ash.
You want to say something?
I'm good.
And we was live.
Hey, and we survivors, bro.
And we survived. I like that.
Yes.
We all warriors. I like that.
Yes, yes.
Warriors
yes.
on 3.
Warriors on 3.
We are.
1, 2, 3, warriors.
Yeah. 1. All right. Warriors on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Warriors.
Thank y'all.
Did we
Be
really
blessed.
just do that?
Thank y'all
Yeah,
for
that's
watching.
We always doing something.
Okay.